The Brazilian and Turkish ambassadors have said that they are going to be voting no against this resolution. Here's the vote right now.
Will those against please raise their hand? Are there any abstentions? Please raise your hand. Thank you very much. The result of the voting is as follows: 12 votes in favor, 2 votes against, 1 abstention. The draft resolution has been adopted as Resolution 1929 of 2010.
No surprise, really. The vote there, 12 in favor, 2 against. Brazil and Turkey, both of their ambassadors said that they do not see sanctions as an effective instrument in this case. They said, Turkey said, we don't want anyone to possess nuclear weapons, but sanctions would affect the diplomatic process. U.S. Ambassador Susan Rice is now condemning Iran for not living up to its obligations under the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Let's listen to Susan Rice.
Accountable. We are at this point because the government of Iran has chosen clearly and willfully to violate its commitments to the IAEA and the resolutions of this Council. Despite consistent and long-standing demands by the international community, Iran has not suspended its uranium enrichment and other proliferation-related activities. The Security Council has passed a resolution today aimed at reinforcing the need for Iran to take these steps and comply with its obligations. These sanctions are not directed at the Iranian people, nor do the sanctions seek to stop Iran from the legitimate exercise of its rights under the NPT in conformity with its obligations. Rather, the sanctions aim squarely at the nuclear ambitions of a government that has chosen a path that will lead to increased isolation. These sanctions are as tough as they are smart and precise. This resolution prohibits Iran from investing in sensitive nuclear activities abroad. It imposes binding new restrictions on Iran's import of conventional arms. It bans all Iranian activities related to ballistic missiles that could deliver a nuclear weapon. It imposes a comprehensive framework of cargo inspections to detect and stop Iran's smuggling and acquisition of illicit materials or nuclear items. It creates important new tools to block Iran's use of the international financial system, particularly Iranian banks, to fund and facilitate nuclear proliferation. It highlights the potential links between Iran's energy sector and its nuclear ambitions. It targets the role of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps in Iran's proliferation efforts. It establishes a UN panel of experts to help monitor and enforce the implementation of sanctions. And it imposes targeted new sanctions, including asset freezes and travel bans on 40 entities and an individual linked to Iranian nuclear proliferation.
Susan Rice has not been a very high-profile ambassador by U.S. standards, but she's being heard on this day, and I guess this is to some extent her handiwork.
Yes, the last resolution, she was praised by other ambassadors from Russia or China for her diplomatic skills. Look, this one was also negotiated in higher capital levels. Susan Rice now finishing. She says words must mean something. Iran has rights, but also responsibilities, warning of a nuclear threat in effect from Iran. Other members of the Security Council, such as Brazil and Turkey, not so quick to agree. They don't think sanctions is the way. 12 in favor in this resolution, 2 opposed, 1 abstention. Jonathan?
Now, the countries that have been working towards this resolution have been laboring over it for months, if not, it's fair to say, years. What happens next? Does the world, do these Western nations simply wait to see what the Iranians do? It has been a goal for so long to just get this resolution passed. One wonders what happens now.
Susan Rice, the ambassador, warned of secret underground facilities that Iran has disclosed. It will depend on Iran's level of cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency. Other countries, such as Russia and China, will look very closely at that. You heard Ambassador Rice keep open the diplomatic track that the U.S., as appropriate, will look at Brazil and Turkey's fuel exchange deal, which they think falls short, still allows Iran to enrich uranium at higher levels. Again, we've heard it before. They'll say it in cliches. The proof is in the pudding. Whatever Iran does next may determine the level of Council action. But it took years to get this resolution. Critics would say that more time has gone past, that the UN is not tough enough, if you believe in that direction, on Tehran.